Space. All right. Hello, Tribe Luminescent. So I was going to take some notes on this to talk about today, and then my iPad, I didn't charge it. So I'm kind of just going to wing this, but it's something that I feel pretty strong about. So I'm not too worried about it because I just want to talk about why it's important to have a why. And I know that sounds really crazy, but it's a big thing that I see with a lot of different leaders talking about lately. And I feel like it's something that I wanted to touch base on as well. Um, and especially we've been doing with my leadership, that was actually what we did last week is we talked about our why and kind of diving into our teams and finding out all of their whys. Your why is something that's going to change. It is something that's going to evolve as you evolve and you change. When I first started, my why was why not? Like it was that basic, just why not? I'm gonna get a discount. If it works, it works. Why not? Now it's become so much more. Why? Because I don't want to ever have to go back to work. Why? Because okay, I don't enjoy taking my daughter everywhere, but I do. It's something that I'm glad that I don't have to constantly be asking somebody like, hey, my schedule is jammed up. Like, can you do this for me? Can you do that for me? Why is freedom? If I'm not feeling it that day, like I can just take a day off. I try not to do that because then obviously I get behind, but it's something that I can just do without having to worry about points or occurrences or risk of termination, getting fired, whatever. Um, my why is so elaborate. I mean, it's all of those things on top of I don't have to answer it to anybody else. Like, yeah, we have standards and compliance and stuff like that, but that is nothing compared to answering to a superior, to a manager, to a boss, like, and all those things. And like, even though I'm like your guys' leader, I'm not your manager. I'm not your boss. Like, you are an independent consultant. This is your business. I'm just here to lead you on a path and help you find that path to make your why possible. And I mean, even deeper than just the whys that I have that are helping me now. Like I said, my biggest why is I don't want to ever have to go back to a real job. Like this is what I want to do. Like I have evolved into somebody I never thought I was going to be. Like not in a bad way. I mean, not like I was like anti-leadership, but it was just something I never thought that I had the confidence in me to do. Like I've never been that person. And it's really shows me that stepping out of your comfort zone really can change you like for the good. Not even just like in Scentsy, like I'm more comfortable with a lot more things in my life because of different things that because of Scentsy I've been pushed to do. So it's really good to kind of figure out what your why is. And like I said, your why might not be the same as when you started. So maybe even start there. Why did you start? Like this is something to, maybe write down somewhere either now or in your own time, but why did you start? And then why are you still here? Why are you still pushing? Um, and obviously all of our businesses are ran differently. All of our businesses excel at different rates. Some of us are slow going, some of us are fast going, some of us come and go. And that's absolutely okay. Like that's the great thing about a business like this is if you have to, it can get set on the back burner. If life gets absolutely insane. Now, listening to a lot of leaders and stuff, sometimes when their life gets insane, Scentsy is their sanity within it. So don't always be quick to throw that on the back burner when life gets crazy. But if say you're 9 to 5, all of a sudden you have now a manager position where you're working insane amount of hours and you were doing Scentsy an insane amount of hours. If you need to back that off a little, schedule posts and find your way to minimize that, like you can, there's that flexibility. But so that's my thing is why are you still here? And then why are you like, I don't know why are you staying? Like, what is your future? Why? Like, what is and again, that might even change as you evolve, but why do you want to still be here in years to come? And it's really good to dive into these things because some of us don't think about why are we here? Why did we start? Like, it's just, I'm here, I started, here we are. But figure out your reasoning. And that can be, and actually I want to pull up a thing from this leadership. And I might even make a post in Tribe Luminescent to have everyone that's even not on this call kind of share their whys with it. But our homework last week, if I can find it, is create your why statement and using this template. And the template is to blank, and that blank is your contribution. So that blank, and that blank is your impact. So to really dive in more than just like me saying my why is because I want freedom. This, let me find some short. Okay, so here's just a few other leaders' whys, just so you guys can kind of get some ideas of like what this really means. This is her why is to educate and train my team. That's her contribution, so that I can have and lead a strong, successful team. Here is to help others see what Scentsy can do with their lives with the opportunity, so that my family can have a life we always dreamed of. So basically it's just, or I like this one actually. My mission is to bless many people as possible with the Scentsy opportunities so they may live the life that they've always dreamed of. So sometimes your contribution isn't always about yourself, and it can be, and it can be something bigger. Like what empowers you? What keeps you motivated? What is that drive that keeps you thinking about Scentsy every day as a business? So I really encourage everybody to really dive into yourself and figure out what that why is, and then share it with the world. Like, what do you want to do with this? And, maybe not necessarily just be like my why statement and make a post about that, but figure out ways to share why your why, as in like, why are you here? So others can see like, oh, I would really like that. Like, and they start thinking like, maybe that's their why. And then it's show me more of this opportunity, and even not even just the Scentsy opportunity. Sometimes I like to even make kind of generic posts that are, usually a lot of it is if I find something on Instagram, like those really inspirational, like different network marketing posts and stuff like that. And I always say like, find something that you love and go for it. Like, it might not be this company and it might not be the next, but if it's something that you're passionate about, grab it and hang on to it and go with it, because there are so many successful network marketing companies out there, and there's so many successful network marketers. I mean, like, there's network marketers in like the $1 million clubs. Like, it is something that is completely feasible to do. I shared recently that screenshot of some leaders' checks. Can you guys imagine getting 50K in a month? Like, man alive. Like, right now, my, like, okay, I'll have to find the template. I think I've shared it before actually on Tribe Luminescent. You might be able to find it, but I'll maybe repost it. I have this on my bulletin board. This is, I mean, it's obviously it's fake, but it's, of course, and it's mirrored, but it was a blank check. And I wrote date 2022. I did this in the beginning of the year. And my goal check is to have $3,000, make $3,000 in a month. I could only imagine, like, what if I was shooting for this and all of a sudden, messed up and hey, now I got like 50 grand. Like, if we had like 200 people join our team this month and all of a sudden I'm superstar director, you know what I mean? Like, there's so many, oh, it is normal for you. Ha, okay. But there's so many things out there that it's possible. And it's something that, like I said, my why in the beginning was why not? Because I was already buying it. When I realized how many different variety products they have and how much I can incorporate them in my life and actually enjoy them, that's why I started. Why not? Because I'm gonna buy this stuff anyway. So then I realized, without trying, I kind of found a passion. And like I said, I'm not planning on going anywhere. Like, this, even over the past 2 years, yes, even hitting director. And now I'm sitting in director queue, hoping to get my numbers back so I don't fall down to superstar consultant. But guess what? If that happens, I'm still not giving up. I'm not going anywhere. I don't care how up and down this roller coaster is, because I'm on it for the long haul. Like there are so many superstar directors even that I've seen, like trainings or videos or YouTube, whatever, talking about their journey. And so many of them have had some really hard fails in their business, in their life, like people like growing up somewhere, living somewhere all their life, and all of a sudden having to be uprooted and have to thinking that that's going to fry their business and having to continue and push through that. And they still succeeded. People with, just crappy things happen within their family and stuff, and they still push through it. People losing titles and still pushing through it. I don't remember who it was. There was, and because I don't know who it was, I don't know the title, but I know it was director up kind of talk. And she said that where she's at now, and I think it was 200 and some was on her team, most of those people that she started with are not the same people that are there. So if she all of a sudden she had said something basically, if when a bunch of people started falling off, and this is back when you had to be active every 4 months, instead of where it is now every 12 months. So people were falling off a lot faster than they do now. Now, mind you, if somebody's not working and they're sitting there at zero, it doesn't matter if they fall off in 4 months or a year, it's still, a zero. But now if people are putting in like that little bit, but not quite hitting active, they've got a little longer now. But when she was watching people fall off, she said it was really discouraging, and she started questioning her leadership and her business and stuff like that. And she kind of just took a step back and like dove into it, reevaluated that why, reevaluated kind of what she's doing and what she can change, because a system and stuff like that might work for a while, but if all of a sudden it stops working, like you need to reevaluate and change as you need to change. The world doesn't stay the same. Generations have not stayed the same. Like everything is constantly evolving, at different paces, but that's something that when we need to sit back and it's not working anymore, relook at it instead of just giving up. So I like to share, my why statement is kind of incorporated in my about me and my website. It's something that I have put in like my mail outs, I always do like an about me. I actually might start switching that up. I did see in the director share group, this girl, she does like monthly newsletters. So every month it's kind of like a dive into her life for her customers. She's like, yeah, I share it all on social media and stuff like that. She's like, but not everybody always pays attention to that. And she's like, and sometimes it's nice to put in those highs and lows and show somebody that you're a real person. So she makes like a little personal newsletter. She talks about her kids and her husband and all of that. And it's how their past month was. And I'm like, that is so cute. Like I have my why. Yeah, I talk about Dean and Annika in it, but it's stationary. And like people are probably getting this flyer 5, 10, 15 times over, depending on how much they order from me. So by now they're probably like, oh, this again? And don't even read it. So I kind of want to switch that up a little bit. Not that it's a system that's not working, but I just don't feel like I get as much statements from it anymore. Like when I first did it, everyone's like, oh, this is cute. I read your little about me. And I don't really hear that anymore. So maybe it is kind of getting burnt out. Not that that's going to make or break my business, but even something small like that, like just revamp it. Obviously don't try to like revamp your entire business all at once, because you're going to end up in chaos. You might do it. And I'm no judgment if you do, but it's going to be a lot easier on your mental to kind of take it a step at a time and figure out where does it need to change the most first. Because that's one thing that I do too, is I see ideas and I go, crazy. And I'm just like, I need to do that. I need to do that. I need to do that. And then I'm flooding in things. And I'm like, maybe I don't need to do this. I have a folder on Facebook of different posts and like people that share different ideas and concepts labeled Scentsy. And it's probably got like 60 things in it that I have yet to go back and touch base on because I have so much going on. But it's something that I still want to be able to, kind of like, and I do, like when I'm thinking about a system that I need to reevaluate, most of the time, if something comes to mind that I've seen before, I'm like, I probably saved that. And then I'll scroll through and I'll find what I need. And then as I incorporate it, I'll unsave it. But there's definitely a lot of things in there that I haven't even touched base on. But one day they might come in handy. So I have that. It's really, really good tool because man, there's so many times I'm like, man, I didn't save it. And then it takes you an eon, if at all, to find it. So create a folder on your Facebook, name it Scentsy, or even if you really want to get and split it up, and that's probably what I should do, like do, leadership, recruiting, sales, like things like that. I should probably spread it out a little bit more, but right now it's just Scentsy. So again, that's probably a system I need to revamp, but it's just me that sees it. So that's okay. It's nothing more chaotic than I'm used to. But even in like your posts, like, especially when you're talking about the business opportunity, and I say it all the time, tell your story, but within that story, make sure that why is known. You don't have to say my why, my reason, but put it into the context somewhere where they get the idea that that's why you're here. That's why you love it. And that's why you stay. Even if you talk about how you started to where you are now. But sharing these things are going to show people, especially people that are intimidated by a network marketing company, because there are so many people that are like, I can't do that. That was me before I said, why the heck not? And I'm glad I did, because I don't know how boring my life would be without it. But it's something that shows people it's possible, that we're not any better than the next person. And I've really realized that, like, when I first got into Scentsy and watching some of these leaders, I was like, man, like, they bougie, or they fancy, they look like they're like, but they're not. Like, and I'm sure some of them are, but those are probably the ones that are not putting out the content to share. Those are the ones that are keeping it to themselves and just riding the waves. Like, the ones that are out there to share, most of the time, you go on YouTube and you follow a Scentsy leader that you like, even if they are an SSD, if you find them on Facebook and you reach out, 9 times out of 10, they will message back and help you, whether you're on their team or not. Like, it's crazy. And like, just watching them and realizing, like, they're just like me. Like, maybe they live in a fancy house, but they work their butt off for it. You guys, like, if you asked Johanna Luna 2 years ago, she was not in the position she is in now. She was struggling. It was hard for her. And like, look at where she's came. And it's like, I want that life. Like, I want to be comfortable. And that's a big reason. Another big reason of why I stay is I want to not have to worry about, oh, is it payday yet? Is it payday yet? I don't need to be rolling in money. Like, no one's going to complain if they are, but to be comfortable, to not have to wait for that payday. Like, even to the point of, I could go like a week past payday on my payday, if that makes sense. Just that little bit of overlap would be so much more comfortable. And that's why I stick to what I'm doing, and I keep pushing, and I try to be so consistent. But showing your why and talking about it is going to help others see that it's achievable. And it's maybe, like I said, spark that why in them. Like, oh, she's doing it for that. I could use some of that. Like, yeah. And then usually, once you get into this community, you realize it's so empowering. Like, it doesn't have words. Like, I don't know, like, sometimes just talking about like the opportunity, even though like we're here, like, I just want to tear up because it's something that I never knew I needed. I I was comfortable. Like, yeah, money was tight. I mean, and welcome to, the economy now. It's still tight. But I've gained so much more than that, like not even monetary, just like, I mean, all you guys, and I wasn't a social person. You were lucky if you saw occasional, like me share some funny video on Facebook. Other than that, I was like MIA, like I didn't share stuff, I didn't post stuff. And then I'm sure people that have been on my Facebook for years, all of a sudden are like, damn, she coming out of the woodwork. What is this? I'm sure I lost a few followers too, but that's okay. Obviously we weren't that great of friends if you're just going to unfollow me for my business, but none that I can actually pinpoint out because it's not like Facebook tells you, but to each your own. But yeah, so definitely dive into yourselves and figure out what that why is, because that's going to help be able to share that opportunity and be comfortable, and even share it when you're talking one-on-one conversations with people. I tell people that all the time. I mean, you guys know this, I'm a huge voice chatter because usually I just hate typing. Like I really do. Sometimes, I don't know, like I get in moods. Sometimes I'll type and then sometimes I'm like, because I just don't want to type, or if I'm doing something, it's quicker, especially if I have to explain. And thank goodness for Facebook letting me record over a minute. Sorry, Jilly. She's still on that old update. I don't know why. Maybe it's so weird. One day you're gonna be able to record over a minute, and you're just gonna like freak out, and it's gonna say a minute or two.
It did that to me once, but then it like aired out, and it chopped it off after a minute. But my Facebook has updated like 3 times in the last week, so I have no idea why I still can't do it. I don't know.
Maybe it's like a rolling out and wave thing. I wasn't even paying attention. One day I was just talking, and then it was like a minute and 30 seconds. And I was like, oh, because usually I'm one that I will talk and it'll cut off at a minute. And then I'll be like, now I have to listen to myself. I have to listen to myself for a minute to figure out where I left off before I send this. Lordy Lord. But like I do that with customers too. It's not just you guys that I voice chat with. So like when I'm talking to people and they're asking about the opportunity, and or I'm trying to present the opportunity to them, I tell them like what I've gained, especially if they say like, I'm scared of this, I'm scared of that. Like, that's not me. I'm like, girl, my biggest thing when people say I can't sell, I'm not a salesperson. Do I seem salesy to you? That's my first question. Do I seem salesy to you? They're like, no. I'm like, exactly. I don't like salespeople either. You ain't gonna catch me in a car dealership. I'm gonna go get one of those cars from Carvana if I ever need one. Let me order that out of a vending machine so I don't gotta deal with people. But it's something that I try to share a lot. The positives, the negatives, the ups, the downs. Like I don't filter anything. Like straight up, people ask me, how much can I make from this? And I always tell them that, that's going to depend on you. And I share, not dropping names or anything, but I share the team and I talk about them. Like there are people on our team that do this average. There's people on our team that do this average. Like my thing is, I don't like always sharing. I mean, I share my story. I do, but I don't always like telling them when they ask like, how much are you making and stuff like that, because I don't know if it's skill or if it was luck or what for me to hit it the way I hit it, or just timing. But I feel like I'm a little bit above the average. I'm waiting for one of you guys all of a sudden to show me up. Like somebody show me up, beat my PRV. Just please do it, please, because I want to see your guys' face when that commissions come. But I don't like always using that because I don't necessarily have, like, my fails aren't in that. So I do try to share like some of my other fails and stuff like that. And I always tell them like, yes, this is what I make. Like I can show you a real commission and I'll screenshot some of them, because I've been asked, what's the most you've made? What's the least you've made? And I've shared that. And they're like, whoa. And I'm like, but I do this full time. Disclaimer, I do this full time. So like if you're juggling with a job, don't expect this right off the bat. You can, like 100%, 110%, it is feasible. Like, don't let me beat you down like that. But I don't want somebody coming in being like, well, you said I'm going to make this much. Oh, well, it depends on your work. So then that's when I like to say, yes, but I have other people that are hobbyists that'll make around this. I have people that are, you know, slowly up and coming that make more like this. So it's a huge variety. I mean, and then we have people that make nothing because they don't do anything. They get a kit and they run with it. And that's okay, but it's like, man, at least utilize a discount. Jeez. At least for the year, if you're not going to get active, like you might as well, you know, buy some wax every now and again and get a discount. But I don't know. I don't understand some people. But most of them are on promos like what we have right now. When they get the discount and they think, oh yeah, this is going to be easy money. And then I like to, before I sign people on, always ask them, do you have questions? Like, I want you, first of all, I tell them, you're going to ask me a million questions after you sign up. And that's okay, because closed mouths don't get fed. If you're not asking questions, you're not learning, you're not growing. I was like, my most successful teammates are the ones that ask the most questions. They always feel like they're annoying me, but that's far from the truth. Like, I would rather you come to me and ask questions. You know, obviously utilize the tools you have first. Check on Facebook, check on the workstation, those things. If you're still having issues, you know, ask. But a lot of the times after like the first 70 days, a lot of times when you guys come to me, it's more like to kind of beep bop ideas around, or, you know, stuff like that. And that's even more because then it's, I know I'm helping empower you. I know that I'm helping give you that drive. And sometimes we just kind of feel like we're in a rut in our business. And that's why like these groups and different things and sharing, not even just within our team, you know, other team, like groups and stuff or whatever, watching what other consultants do, like helps spark ideas. Like the scent crates that I just did. Like, I've been watching that group, you guys, I swear, for like 2 months. I'm like, I can't do it. I'm like, that's so good. I can't do it. And then I did it. And I was like, oh my God, these turned out so cute. I only sold 4 of them. $25 a piece. I only sold 4 of them. That's not that much. But does that mean I'm not going to do it next month? No, I'm doing it next month. I already got planned. I'm doing Earth Day boxes because I already did Easter. So I figured I'll do that. I don't know what I'm going to add in it yet, but that's kind of my theme. I'm going to put around it. But don't tell my VIPs because they don't know yet. But that's something that I see all these consultants doing those boxes, and some of them say they have like 40 to 60 a month. But I know that's so crazy. And I'm like, okay, so if I do this every month, my goal every month for a year, I want to have, I'm not going to even throw it that high because I don't want to like put myself down if I don't hit it. And like I say, always have a goal higher than yourself, but don't push it too high. Like, you want a feasible goal. So my goal is before the end of the year to have a month where I sell 15 of those boxes. And I think if I do it every month, and the thing is, I'm going to pick the pictures that I shared, I'm going to put that spoiler out once I know everybody has their crates. So then people that didn't get it, I'd be like, whoa, that's kind of cool. Like, that's better than a whiff box because it's well, curated by me. So of course it's cool, but no, like it's got puns in it. It's got candy in it. It's got, you know, just, it's themed. Whereas like the whiff box isn't really themed. The most theme you get is the little flyer. And that was another question, is this going to hurt my whiff boxes? Like, people that order whiff boxes. And in that group, so many people say they still have people that'll buy a crate and buy a whiff box. So it doesn't really dampen because it's not the same thing. And I was like, okay. And that kind of pushed me the confidence to go for it and do it. And when I shared it on there, even they're all like, this is your first box. You did so good. And I'm like, thanks. So it's like, I couldn't have did it honestly without this group. This group gave me the encouragement to do it. This group gave me the ideas to do it. You know, and then obviously I put my own spin on things, but it gave me the confidence to do it. And that's why like sharing is just so good. But yeah, like onboarding people, I always ask them, like, what questions do you have? What can I answer for you? And because I don't like spamming them with information, because, and I know I've said this before, it scares people. If you give people too much information, if you start talking about commissions in their first 15 days and their first 70 days before they sign on, they're like, run. Like that reel that's going around right now, run. That's going to be them. And what I like to do is ask, like, what questions do you have? And then I'm going to give them a straightforward answer about it. Whether it's good, whether it's bad, I tell them straight up, ask away, because I'm not going to sugarcoat anything. I'm not going to sit here and make this seem like peaches and rainbows all the time, 24/7, because it is a business. I mean, there is it 90% of the time, I absolutely love this business, this company, and everything I do. And then there's that 10% where I'm like, I just want to rip out my hair. But that's also being a self-motivated person. Like that's, or having to be a self-motivated person, because sometimes that's something I lack on. And that's why sometimes, like, again, when I get behind or frustrated, or I'm trying to pile all these projects onto myself, that's that 10% where I'm like, I just want to rip out my hair. Oh my God. So it's okay to feel like that. So like, I show all of that. I don't sugarcoat, because I want them to know everything. And when they really are interested in enough where they're starting to ask those questions, I've only had a few end up backing out. Most of the time they're like, okay. And I tell them, like, especially when they start talking, like, I mean, if they ask about, like, you know, goals and incentives and stuff like that, you know, yes, I'm going to talk to them about it. But if they start really getting into, like, you know, how do I know what to write? How do I know what to post? I always tell them, like, we'll worry about that after you sign up. But there are groups and tools and so many things that I'm going to share with you to help, especially now that I created the Linktree and the website. So that is super nice to be able to share with people. And that's something else that, I know you guys are going to hear me say this all the time, because I'm kind of tooting my own horn here with that. You guys use that as well to help you onboard, because you don't need to go make your own. You know, maybe when you get higher up and you become a director and you have a huge team underneath you, or a star director or whatever, you know, then kind of recreate for your own entity, you know, because then technically once you become a director, everyone under you is technically not part of Tribe Luminescent. It'd be underneath your name. But in all, like, they're still part of Tribe Luminescent, but you could recreate that if you wanted. And if you didn't, you know what? I'm not going to care. I don't care if you end up hitting SSD and you still want to use that. Obviously, you know, I'm going to update it and keep going with it. But if you want to still utilize it, that's okay. Like, that's kind of why I created it, is to help all of us. And thanks, Kristen. It's got everything on there. That first things first, like talks about breaks down their first 15 days, their first 70 days. It talks about warmer and scent of the month. So that's even something that you can just go to, like, that specific tab on that website. And if you wanted to just share that URL with, like, a teammate or something like that, because you're talking about something specific, or just tell them, you know, hey, head to the Linktree on the website. There's a tab called this. Check that out, and it'll explain. I think the only one that I have, there's one I think I have to update on. I think club, because I was looking for all the club flyers I can find don't have, like, the referral system on it. It's all, like, older from before the referral. I did just actually last night, I found some that actually have the referral information on it. So I'm finally going to update. I think that's my project tomorrow morning, is to update that page, because that's the last page of that website that needs to be done. So, but you guys' homework is figure out your why, dive into yourself, and share it. Like, don't be afraid to shout it from the rooftops, because people are watching. You might not know it, but there's people watching. And it's, people watch silent for so long and then come out of the woodwork. It's crazy. And you know what? There's so many people too that sign on just for that discount, like me, like, to say, hey, why not? But I totally just lost my train of thought. Sorry. It's because I read your message. Chilling. Okay, so they sign up for the discount and then end up realizing how much community there is there on here. I'm actually about to shout out. I'm waiting for her to send me a picture. I'm gonna have to yell at her about that. I don't know if you guys saw the comment on this like event or whatever from probably a face that you haven't seen before. She just signed on this morning. I'm just waiting for her to send me the picture so I can put a shout out, but she's just in it for the discount. But I think she's going to give it a shot. I think she does. She is in another company, and she's pretty good at it. And I think she's going to give this a shot because it went from, yeah, I just want a discount to, I asked, would you like to be part of our team page? Because if some people that are in it for the discount, they don't want all these groups and all this stuff popping up on their feed. And I totally get it. So I'm not going to just spam you and make you join all these things. If you want it for a discount, you sign up. And I tell people this all the time that are talking about it. I'll help you. I'll teach you how to create that party, order for yourself, and build yourself rewards. That's all you need. And you don't even need the website. Like opt it. I strongly suggest opting in that first 3 months because it is free. And if it doesn't work out and you're just still hanging out for a discount, I'll show you how to cancel it. And then I'll teach you how, before that's even canceling time, you'll know how to place your own orders so you're getting money back for your stuff. So I was talking to her about that and I asked her, I was like, would you like to be part of the team Facebook page? I was like, so you can, I'm like, if you want, you can just be a fly on the wall and just kind of see what we're all doing and what it's about and whatnot. I'm like, I do, these weekly Zooms, I do, hop on, a couple of us all share our stuff. We need to share more. But Kristen, you're doing awesome. You've been sharing a little bit. And that's something all in time. Like it's all in time. Like we're still all growing. Like I've only been here not even 2 years yet. Like I'm still growing and developing. I definitely was not ready for 54 people depending on me to help them. But here we are and I'm doing it. Like, and it's making me grow. But so she's like, yeah, sure. You can add me to the group. And then she goes, does home office or like, is there like a forum or something that home office does? And I was like, what? And she's like a page that's like admin by home office. And I was like, oh yeah, Scentsy Family Consultants. So I sent it to her and then I was like, yeah, there's some consultant ran groups like with flyers and like real life pictures and stuff. And she goes, spam me with them all. I'm like, okay. So who knows, maybe she is going to try to dive into it and see if it works for these 3 months. Cause I told her, I'm like, while you have a website, you might as well give a launch party a shot. And what's it going to hurt? Like, and you're already a social seller. So you pretty much got this concept. Give it a shot. Maybe your friends and family might really, really enjoy this stuff and it might turn out better than you thought. And if it doesn't, then hang out for the discount. Like that's cool. So yeah, it was really nice to hear her say that. And if she ends up watching this on YouTube, like I told her it would be posted. Hi, I know I'm not calling you out, but I kind of did. But it's just crazy once you get into this, like, and meet, I guess we haven't like all formally met each other, but like meet people, like not even just in this tribe, in the community, just how much it really kind of changes your prospect on it. I mean, Jilly, you kind of signed up just for a discount, didn't you? Exactly. And it's
my mom was like, hey, I'm doing this, you should do it with me. And I was like, okay. She's like, it's only 20 at that time, it was the $20 instead of 25. And I was like, okay, yeah, sure, why not?
See, so your why started the same as me. Why not? Why not?
Give me a discount. I'm like, I don't even buy Scentsy products. And I've been burned by other MLMs, like, well, not burned per se, but didn't have luck with
you flunked at them. You flunked at
them. So I was already hesitant for that reason. And I'm just like, all right, fine. She goes, let me send you a whiff box. And then I think it was like within a week, I got the whiff box and then I signed up. And then now you and I have talked. I've already used the laundry soap. Like I'm switching everything to Scentsy.
Exactly. And I mean, why not? Like, why not? You're getting paid on it. So if I go to Walmart and buy something, I'm not getting any money back for that.
No.
So yeah, it's crazy how much just dipping your toes into this community can change your mindset. And I mean, not everybody is going to have that mindset change. Not everybody's going to have that, switch like that, but I feel like it's definitely more common than not. And I think once you get in it, and especially if you're somebody who kind of craves that community, I think it's something that really starts to resonate with you, that it really, you realize like, like I said, like everyone's just real. We're all got our own ups and downs. We all got our own struggles. We all got our own crazy lives, and nobody's better than the next. And I think because of that is a big reason why I stay, because I've never felt so much part of a community as I do this. And I mean, I've been part of it, like I said, like, I mean, I'm an admin on that plant group, like that's a community, but only time I talk to them is when we trade plants. Like, I mean, a few of them not, because obviously some of them are here on this team and some of them I do hang out with and stuff like that, but it's not as much. Like, even though, like these Zooms don't have like the whole team coming and checking it out, whatever, like I'm still one-on-one communicating with all these people. You see all these names and stuff in like the comments, and like you guys interact with each other and stuff like that. Like, and even then going into a bigger spectrum and like looking at like the flyer groups and the share pages and stuff, like I mean, don't get me wrong, there are some negative Nancy's and some Karens out there, but there's also a huge sense of community, and it's just crazy. Like, again, like I said, there's no freaking word for it. So, but so like I said, your homework though is figure out your why, dive into it, share it. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to stop recording, and then we're going to chit chat some SFR. So all of y'all though that are not watching for this, you need to go to SFR, but I'll probably jump live and I'll ramble about it in Facebook. So